Welcome to my channel. My friends, tell me honestly, do you forget new English words the next day, no matter how hard you study? You learn 10, but remember none. Don't worry, in this video, I'll show you how to learn and remember 100 new English words in just 1 week. Comment below. Do you also forget new words easily? Let's fix it today. Chapter 1, The Word Problem. Why you forget everything. When I first started learning English, I thought my biggest enemy was grammar. But I was wrong. My biggest enemy was memory. I learned new words every day. I wrote them in my notebook, repeated them 10 times, even made colorful flashcards. But the next day, they were gone, like they never existed. Maybe you know that feeling too. You study hard, you focus, you tell yourself, I'll remember this time. But the words just disappear. You forget them when you need them most. You try to speak, and your mind becomes blank. You feel lost, embarrassed, and you ask yourself, why can't I remember? It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're bad at English. It's because of how your brain works. The brain doesn't remember what it doesn't use. It keeps what feels alive, what has meaning, what connects to emotion. You remember your favorite song, not because you studied it, but because you felt it. You remember your friend's name, not because you repeated it 20 times, but because that name means something to you. But when you see a word like courage in your notebook, and there's no story, no feeling, no connection, your brain says, I don't need this, and it quietly deletes it. That's what happens to most English learners. They collect words like items on a shopping list: beautiful, quickly, mountain, courage, freedom. But they never live with those words, so their mind forgets them, like leaves blowing away in the wind. I know this pain very well. There were days I felt like giving up. I thought maybe English words weren't for me. Maybe my brain just couldn't hold them. But then I realized something powerful. The problem wasn't my brain, it was my method. I was trying to remember words, but I wasn't trying to feel them. Think about it. When you learn a word like hungry, do you just read it, or do you feel it? When you say cold, do you imagine that shiver down your body? When you read love, do you think of someone who matters to you? That's the difference. Memory is emotion. Your mind remembers what your heart touches. Once I understood that, my English started to change. I stopped memorizing lists. I started collecting stories. Each word became part of my life. In this video, I want you to see how powerful that idea is. You can learn 100 new words in a week, not by writing them 100 times, but by building 100 small feelings, 100 small pictures, 100 small connections, because that's how real memory works. But before we get there, let's talk about something else: the way most people try to learn. You've probably done it too. You open a notebook, you write 10 words every night. You read them, you whisper them, you feel like you're studying. But by morning, most of them are gone. Why? Because you didn't use them in life. You didn't give your brain a reason to keep them. Your brain is like a smart guard, it only keeps what seems useful. So when you memorize umbrella, but never talk about rain, your brain says, not needed, and deletes it. It's not your fault. School systems taught us to learn like machines. But language is not a machine. It's alive. Words are not numbers. They are living pieces of emotion, experience, and sound. You have to feel them, speak them, live them. That's how they stay with you. That's how you go from forgetting every word to remembering every feeling. I remember one day, I was sitting with my dictionary feeling tired. I saw the word hope. I wrote it down again and again, but it still felt empty. Then I closed my notebook and looked out the window. The sky was cloudy, but a small ray of sunlight came through. And suddenly, the word hope made sense. It wasn't just a word anymore, it was that light in the clouds. From that day I never forgot it, because I didn't just learn the word, I felt it. That's what I want for you too, to stop forcing your brain and start teaching your heart. In this video, we'll take that energy and use it for your memory. You'll learn how to make words stay, how to connect, speak, see, and live with them. You'll see how easy it becomes when you stop fighting your brain and start working with it. So as we begin this journey, remember this. You already have the power to learn fast. You already have the mind for English. You just need the right method, one that turns boring vocabulary into something unforgettable. And by the end of this week, you won't just know 100 new words, you'll own them. Chapter 2, The 7-Day Plan. One Goal, 1 Week. When I first heard that I could learn 100 new English words in a week, I laughed. I thought it was impossible. 100 words, in 7 days, I could hardly remember 10. But when I looked deeper, I realized it wasn't about learning more, it was about learning better. It was about making a simple plan and following it with heart. You don't need to be a genius to do it. You just need to stay consistent, one small step each day. So let's imagine something together. You wake up tomorrow, and you learn only 15 new words. Just 15. Not 100. Just a small, beautiful number that your brain can enjoy. You read them, speak them, and live with them for one day. The next day, you learn 15 more. You don't rush, you don't stress. Slowly, your list grows. By the end of the week, when you look back, you've already crossed the 100-word mark. You smile, because this time, they're not just on paper, they're inside you. This is the power of the 7-day plan. It's not about studying harder, it's about studying smarter. Your brain loves rhythm and small victories. It learns best in pieces, not in pressure. When you follow a daily structure, your brain starts to trust you. It knows that every day, new words will come, and it will get ready to remember them. You create a habit, and habits create success. Let me show you how simple this week can be. Day 1, listen to your words. Yes, just listen. Pick 15 words and hear them in real sentences. Use YouTube, audio dictionaries, or your favorite English channel. Don't write yet, just feel how they sound. This day is for your ears. Day 2, speak those same words. Say them aloud 10 times each. Make your tongue and lips remember the sound. You'll be surprised how your mouth learns faster than your mind. Day 3, write them down. Use them in small sentences from your own life. I eat breakfast, my house is quiet, the sky is blue, keep it real. Day 4, read them again, but this time, imagine pictures. When you see apple, imagine holding it. When you read friend, think of someone you care about. Make every word a picture. Day 5, use them in your day. When you walk, when you cook, when you talk to yourself, use them naturally. Say, this food is tasty, the weather is hot. Your day becomes your classroom. Day 6, review everything. Read your list, listen again, say them out loud. Don't add new words, just strengthen the old ones. Day 7, celebrate. Test yourself. Try to use all 100 words in your own sentences. Record your voice or write a story. You'll see how far you've come. Do you see how simple that is? 7 days, one small task every day, and your brain feels happy. You're not forcing it, you're feeding it slowly. The secret is not speed, it's connection. Every word you learn becomes part of your life. I used to spend hours memorizing word lists. It was painful. I felt tired and defeated. But when I began using this 7-day plan, something changed. I started enjoying it. My notebook was no longer full of dead words, it was full of living ones. Each word had a memory, a color, a feeling. I still remember my first list. Morning, smile, chair, dream, listen, strong, they stayed with me, because I met them every day for a week, like meeting a friend again and again. You see, your brain loves repetition. When you meet a word once, it forgets. But when you meet it 7 times, it remembers forever. That's why this plan works. Each day you give your brain a chance to know the word a little better. By the end of the week, it's no longer a stranger. It's part of your world. And here's something even more magical. When you follow this plan for 1 week, you don't just learn words, you learn discipline. You learn patience. You learn how to build something strong, slowly, step by step. And that habit will help you not just in English, but in everything you do. So if you've ever said, I can't remember words, I want you to promise yourself right now, I will try this for 1 week. Just one. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start with today. Pick your first 15 words, maybe from this video, or from your favorite story, and begin. Because here's the truth. You don't need more talent, you need a plan. And when you follow the 7-day plan, with love and focus, 100 new words will feel easy. And when you can do that in 1 week, imagine what you can do in 1 month, in 1 year. In the next chapter, I'll show you the secret behind remembering words forever, the art of feeling them. Once you feel a word, you never forget it. So stay with me, we're about to make your words come alive. Chapter 3, Feel the Words. Don't just read them. When I was learning English, I used to sit with my notebook open and repeat words like a robot. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I said it again and again, hoping it would stay in my mind. But the next day, it was gone. I felt angry. I thought my memory was weak. But one day, something small changed everything. I was walking outside, and I saw a flower. It was bright, soft, alive. I smiled and said quietly, beautiful. Suddenly, that word felt different. It wasn't just a sound anymore, it had meaning. I could feel it. And from that day, I never forgot it. That moment taught me one of the biggest secrets of language learning. You never truly remember a word until you feel it. Words are not just letters on paper, they are feelings, images, sounds, memories. When you connect a word to something real, your brain holds on to it like a treasure. But when you try to memorize it with no emotion, it disappears like smoke. Think about this. When you hear the word rain, what comes to your mind? For some people, it's the sound on the roof. For others, it's the smell of wet ground. Maybe for you, it's that cold drop on your face. That feeling, that small connection, makes the word stick forever. But if you only read the word rain in a list, it means nothing. It's just another random sound your brain will soon forget. So when you learn new words, don't just read them. Don't only write them. Feel them, imagine them, experience them. If the word is hot, touch a cup of tea and whisper hot. If it's cold, open your freezer, feel the air, and say cold. If it's happy, smile, and think of something good. Let your emotions move with the word. When your body and heart join your brain, memory becomes natural. I once met a student who told me she could never remember adjectives. She said, I always forget words like angry, tired, hungry, excited. I told her, then you need to feel them. I asked her to act them out. She made an angry face and shouted, I am angry. She rubbed her eyes and said, I am tired. She held her stomach and said, I am hungry. And suddenly, she laughed and said, I feel excited. The next week she told me, Teacher, I still remember all of them. Because she didn't just learn with her mind, she learned with her feelings. Your brain is emotional. Science says that memories linked with feelings stay longer. When you feel joy, surprise, or curiosity, your brain opens its doors. So when you study, make your heart part of the process. Don't make learning look like homework. Make it look like life. When you learn the word friend, think of someone you trust. When you learn sad, remember a moment that touched your heart. When you learn hope, look at the sky and imagine your dream. Here's something powerful you can do right now. Take your list of new words, and beside each one, write a small emotion or memory. For example, rain, the sound on my window last night. Smile, when my mom laughed at breakfast. Strong, when I finished my first 5-kilometer walk. Alone, that quiet moment when I missed someone. When you do this, every word becomes a story, and your brain loves stories more than anything. You can also use pictures. Draw or find one for each word. Don't worry if you're not good at art. Even a small symbol helps. If the word is tree, draw a simple tree and say tree. If it's music, draw a note or your favorite instrument. If it's travel, draw a road. Visual memory is powerful. What you see stays longer than what you read. I remember when I learned the word freedom. It was hard to understand at first. Then one day, I watched birds flying in the sky. No one told them where to go. They moved freely, beautifully. I whispered, freedom, and I understood it. That image still lives in my mind today. That's how you build real vocabulary, not with stress, but with meaning. So when you sit with your list of 100 words this week, don't rush, take each one slowly. Look at it, imagine it, feel it. Let it become part of your world. Whisper it, write it, smile when you say it. English is not a subject, it's an experience. And every word has a heartbeat if you listen carefully. You may not realize it yet, but this feeling method will make you unstoppable. You won't need to force memory anymore. Your brain will naturally start connecting words to your life. And when English becomes part of your feelings, you'll never forget it. In the next chapter, we'll go one step further. We'll turn those feelings into sound. You'll learn how to speak your new words out loud, so they live in your mouth, not just in your notebook. Because a word you say is a word you own. So get ready. Your voice is about to become your best teacher. Chapter 4: Speak the words. Turn vocabulary into voice. When I first started learning English, I was silent. I knew words on paper, but not in sound. I could read them, even write them, but I couldn't say them. My tongue refused to move. My lips felt strange. I would open my mouth, and nothing came out. I was afraid of sounding wrong. Maybe you feel the same. You learn new words, but when it's time to speak, you freeze. You worry about pronunciation, about mistakes, about people judging you. But here's a truth that changed everything for me. A word you don't speak is a word you don't own. Speaking is not just for advanced learners, it's the tool that makes you one. When you say a word out loud, you give it power. You let your brain, mouth, and ears work together. You create memory through sound and movement. That's how babies learn their first language, not by writing, but by speaking. So if you truly want to remember your 100 new words this week, you have to use your voice. You have to bring those words to life. Let me tell you what I used to do. I would take a small list of 10 or 15 new words. I would sit in front of the mirror and say them one by one. Not fast, slowly. I watched my mouth move. I repeated each word 5 times, feeling the sound. Rain, rain, rain. I smiled as I said it. Strong, strong, strong. Then I made short sentences. The rain is cold. I am strong. I listened to my own voice. It felt strange at first, but after a few days, I noticed something. I could remember the words easily, because my mouth remembered them even when my brain forgot. That's the secret of speaking practice. Your muscles learn before your mind does. Every sound you make creates a small connection in your memory. It's like building a road between your brain and your tongue. The more you speak, the smoother that road becomes. Soon, words start to come out naturally, without fear, without thinking. You don't need a speaking partner to do this. You can practice anywhere, anytime. When you wake up, look around and describe what you see. Window, light, morning. When you make breakfast, say, I'm cutting bread. When you walk outside, whisper, the sky is blue. Speak to yourself in small, short sentences. Don't worry if people think you're crazy. You're not. You're learning faster than they ever did. And when you learn new words, don't just write them down, use them out loud. Say them in your real life. For example, if your new word is delicious, say it when you eat something good. This apple is delicious. If your word is tired, say it when you finish work. I'm tired, but happy. Link the sound to your moment. That's how your memory becomes strong. I remember when I was learning the word confidence. It felt too big for me. I couldn't pronounce it clearly, so I broke it into parts. Confidence. I repeated it again and again in front of the mirror. I even recorded my voice on my phone. The first time, it sounded weak. The second time, it was better. After 1 week, I could say it smoothly. And one day, I looked in the mirror, smiled, and said, I have confidence. It was not just a sentence anymore, it was true. You can do the same. Don't just read words in silence. Speak them, feel them in your mouth. Make mistakes, laugh at them, repeat them. The more sound you make, the more English becomes part of you. The goal is not perfection, the goal is freedom. The more you speak, the more your brain says, this is important, I'll remember it. Try this small exercise today. Take 5 new words from your list. Stand in front of your mirror. Say each word clearly 3 times. Then make one short sentence with each. Record your voice if you can. When you listen later, don't be afraid of your mistakes. Be proud that you spoke. You used your voice. You made English real. That's what most learners never do, but you will. Because every time you say a word out loud, you build confidence. Every time you speak, you teach your brain to remember. And every word you speak becomes yours forever. So never keep your English locked inside your head. Let it come out. Let it breathe. Let it live in your voice. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to make these words even stronger. By seeing them, writing them, and letting your eyes and hands help your brain remember faster. When you combine sound, sight, and touch, you'll never forget what you learn. So stay with me, we're just getting stronger. Chapter 5, See and Write. Visual Memory Power. When I was learning new English words, I used to stare at them for minutes. I would read them again and again, hoping they would stick in my brain. But they didn't. I could recognize them when I saw them, but I couldn't remember how to spell them or use them later. It was like looking at clouds, you see them for a moment, and then they vanish. Everything changed when I started seeing and writing words in a new way. I discovered that your eyes and hands can become your teachers too. Our brain remembers pictures more than letters. That's why you can remember your friend's face easily, but forget his phone number. Your eyes are powerful. When you look at something colorful, written clearly, and repeated often, your brain saves it like a photograph. So if you want to remember new English words, don't just read them, see them everywhere. Make them part of your visual world. Here's what I did. I took small sticky notes and wrote one new word on each, big clear letters. Then I stuck them all around my room. On my mirror, I wrote beautiful. On my desk, study. On the door, open. On the fridge, cold. Every time I saw them, I read them aloud. I didn't even realize I was studying, but I was. After a few days, I could recall every single word easily. My room became my classroom, and my eyes were my memory. You can do this too. Make your environment speak English. Write your new words and place them where you can see them every day. When you open your wardrobe, see clothes. When you use your phone, stick call near it. When you go to sleep, see dream. You'll start to notice something beautiful. Your eyes keep learning, even when your mind is tired. And then comes the writing part, the most powerful tool to make words stay forever. Writing is not just about practicing spelling. It's about touching the word with your hand. When you write something, your hand sends a signal to your brain, saying, this is important. That's why when you write notes in your own handwriting, you remember them better than when you just read. I remember how I used to write my words. I had a small notebook. I didn't write them in a list. I wrote them in short sentences. I am happy. The sky is blue. This tea is hot. I wrote slowly, with focus. Then I added small doodles or colors beside them. Sometimes, I even drew little hearts or smiley faces next to the words I liked. It made learning feel fun. And something magical happened. The more I wrote, the stronger the words became in my memory. If you want to master 100 words in a week, make writing your daily habit. Every morning or night, write 10 new words with your hand. Don't just type, write. Use a pen, a notebook, and a little imagination. Write each word clearly and say it out loud as you write. This connects your eyes, your voice, and your hand. That's how deep memory is built. Another powerful trick is color coding. Use different colors for different word types. Maybe blue for nouns, green for verbs, red for adjectives. When your eyes see colors, your brain creates patterns. it becomes easier to remember that happy is red, run is green, and book is blue. Simple, but effective. You can also draw small symbols next to the words. For example, next to sun, draw a yellow circle. Next to rain, draw drops. Next to music, draw a note. These small pictures act as keys. They unlock the word in your brain. I remember learning the word freedom. I couldn't remember it easily, so I drew a bird flying in the sky next to it. Every time I saw the drawing, I felt something. That picture made the word alive. Now, even years later, I still remember that word because I can still see that bird in my mind. You can also rewrite your words in different places. Write them once in your notebook, once on a sticky note, and once on a piece of paper you keep in your pocket. Rewriting helps your brain review them again and again. Each time you write, it becomes stronger. This chapter is not just about seeing and writing. It's about making words part of your daily world. Every wall, every notebook, every small corner can teach you English if you let it. When you open your notebook, you're not just studying, you're creating memories. When you look at your desk, you're not just seeing wood, you're seeing the word desk. This is how real learners grow. And remember, your goal is not to be perfect. Your goal is to connect. Don't worry about neat handwriting or perfect drawings. The point is to make your eyes and hands part of the learning process. When you see, write, and feel the word, it becomes part of you. So tonight, take a pen and write 10 words. Write them slowly, say them, look at them, touch them. Let your eyes, your voice, and your hands all work together. Tomorrow, those words will still be there, not just in your notebook, but in your memory. In the next chapter, we'll make your world even more alive. You'll learn how to find English words all around you, in your food, in your clothes, in your streets, in your daily life. Because when you live with English, every day becomes your teacher. Stay with me, because your 100 words are about to become your daily friends. Chapter 6. Real Life Practice. Turn your day into a dictionary. When I first started learning English, I made one big mistake. I kept English locked in my notebook. I only opened it when it was time to study. But after closing the book, I lived my whole day in my own language. English stayed trapped on paper, never alive in my real world. That's why I forgot so many words. They didn't belong to my life yet. Everything changed the day I decided to bring English into my daily routine. I realized something powerful. The best classroom in the world is not a school, not a book, not even an app. It's your life. Think about it. You don't need to wait for the perfect lesson or teacher. Every moment around you is full of English words waiting to be learned. When you wake up, your day itself can become your English practice. Your room, your food, your clothes, the people you meet, they all speak a silent English, and you just have to listen. I remember the first morning I tried this idea. I woke up and started talking to myself in simple English. Good morning. I'm awake. The room is bright. The window is open. I feel happy. It felt strange at first, but soon I started to enjoy it. I didn't just say random words, I described what I was doing. When I brushed my teeth, I said, I'm brushing my teeth. When I drank water, I said, this water is cold. When I ate breakfast, I said, the bread is soft. Suddenly, my daily routine became a practice session. I wasn't studying anymore. I was living English. That's how you build real fluency, by connecting English to your daily actions. Don't wait for perfect grammar. Use the words you already know. Every time you touch something, name it. Every time you see something, describe it. Every time you feel something, express it. For example, when you feel tired, say, I'm tired. When you feel excited, say, I'm excited. When you look at the sky, say, it's blue today. These small sentences are powerful. They turn your day into a dictionary and your home into a classroom. I remember one student who told me, "Teacher, I don't have time to study English." I smiled and said, "You don't need time. You already have a whole day. You just need to change how you see it." So she started speaking English during her normal day, in the kitchen, on the bus, at work. She said things like, "I'm cooking rice, I'm washing dishes, I'm waiting for the bus." After 2 weeks, she told me, "I can remember all my new words easily now." Why? Because she wasn't studying English. She was using it. You can do the same. Pick 10 words from your list today and bring them into your real life. If one of your words is hot, use it when you touch tea. If one is heavy, say it when you lift a bag. If one is sweet, say it when you eat a mango. When you connect the word to a real moment, your brain saves it forever. That's why children learn languages so fast. They don't study words, they live them. Even when you go outside, English is with you. Look around and describe everything in your mind. That man is walking. The car is red. The air feels fresh. You can even play a small game with yourself. Try to find English words for 5 things you see every time you step out. It's simple, but it trains your mind to think in English without pressure. And don't worry if you make mistakes. Mistakes mean you're practicing. The more you speak, the better you become. I used to talk to myself while shopping. I'd look at fruit and whisper, "These apples are round. This banana is yellow." People might have thought I was strange, but I didn't care. I was learning faster than ever. Every small action became a new lesson. You can also use your phone to help you. Take photos of things around you and write their English names in your Notes app. When you scroll later, you'll see your daily vocabulary. I used to take pictures of everything: a cup, a chair, a flower, and type their names. Over time, I had hundreds of words that I learned from my own world. This is the real secret. You don't need to study English, you need to live it. English is not only in books, it's in your hands, your kitchen, your street, your sky. The more you bring it into your world, the faster it becomes part of you. So today, promise yourself one thing: no more learning from paper only. Make your day your teacher. Talk to yourself. Describe your world. Feel your words. Live your language. Because when you do that, every hour becomes English practice, and you don't even realize you're studying. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to make this knowledge last forever. You'll learn how to review, repeat, and remember your 100 words for life. You'll see that success in English isn't about learning fast, it's about learning deep. Stay with me till the end, because your transformation is almost complete. Chapter 7. Review, repeat, remember. Your 100 words are now yours. When I look back at my early days of learning English, I realize something important. I didn't fail because I was lazy or slow. I failed because I didn't review. I thought learning meant moving forward fast, collecting new words every day, never looking back. But I was wrong. The truth is, real learning doesn't happen when you learn something once. It happens when you meet it again and again. Memory grows in repetition, just like a plant grows with water every day. If you stop watering it, it fades. But if you care for it, it becomes strong and stays alive. That's how English works too. You've now learned 100 new words in 1 week. That's a big achievement. But the real success begins now. Because learning words once is not enough. You need to own them. You need to make them part of your daily life, your thoughts, your voice. You need to build a relationship with them, like you do with friends. The more time you spend with them, the stronger that bond becomes. When I first finished my list of 100 words, I was proud. But 1 week later, I tested myself, and I forgot many of them. I felt sad. I thought all my effort was wasted. But then I realized something simple. Forgetting is not failure. Forgetting is an invitation to remember again. Every time you review, your brain becomes stronger. It's like training a muscle. You lift the same weight many times until it becomes light. So I made a small change that changed everything. I started reviewing every day, even for just 10 minutes. Here's what I did. Every morning, I looked at 10 old words before learning anything new. I read them, said them aloud, and used them in small sentences. I didn't memorize, I connected. If the word was bright, I looked outside at the sun and said, "The morning is bright." If the word was dream, I smiled and whispered, "I have a dream." These small reviews built bridges in my memory. Slowly, those words stopped feeling like guests. They became part of my family. You can do this too. Review is not about repeating like a parrot. It's about revisiting with feeling. When you review, imagine the picture again. Feel the emotion again. Speak the sound again. The more senses you use, the deeper the word goes into your memory. That's why I always tell my students, review is not boring, it's your victory. It's the moment your brain says, I remember now, this is mine. There's another beautiful trick, repetition with time. Scientists call it spaced repetition, but I call it friendly reminder. It means reviewing the same words after a few days, then again after a week, then after a month. You can make a small schedule. Day 1, learn. Day 3, review. Day 7, test yourself. Day 14, speak them. Day 30, write them in a story. When you follow this rhythm, your words will never leave you. You can also use your notebook in a smart way. Make 3 sections: new words, review words, and mastered words. Every time you learn something, move it slowly from one section to the next. Watching your progress grow feels amazing. It's like seeing your English garden bloom. And here's something powerful. Use your voice when you review. Don't stay silent. Read your words aloud. When you speak them, you create sound memory. When you hear yourself, your brain remembers more deeply. I used to walk around my room speaking my words like small poems. Hope, courage, dream, smile. I said them with emotion, almost like music. And those sounds stayed inside me. Writing also helps. Once a week, write a short story using your new words. It doesn't need to be perfect, just write from your heart. If you learned the words morning, beautiful journey, happy, you could write, "This morning is beautiful. I am happy to start my journey." Simple, but powerful. You don't need big grammar, you need real connection. And don't forget to celebrate your progress. Most learners focus on what they don't know, but you've learned 100 new words in 1 week. That's something to be proud of. Stand in front of your mirror, look at yourself, and say, I did it. Feel that pride, because you've not just learned English, you've learned discipline, confidence, and patience. Your journey doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. Today it's 100 words. Next month, it can be 500. A year from now, thousands. But what truly matters is not how many words you know, it's how deeply you know them. Even one simple word, when felt, spoken, and lived, can change your life. So keep reviewing, keep repeating, keep remembering. Don't let your words fade away. They are your tools, your keys, your future. Carry them with you everywhere you go, in your thoughts, your heart, and your voice. Speak them proudly, because they belong to you now. And before we finish, I want you to promise yourself something. Promise that you'll never give up learning, no matter how slow it feels. Promise that you'll review your words with love, not pressure. Promise that you'll turn English into a part of your daily life. Because the real secret of fluency is not speed, it's consistency. Now it's your turn. Take your notebook, open your heart, and start reviewing your 100 words today. Speak them, write them, live them. Because from this moment on, your 100 words are no longer just words. They're your story. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like it, comment your favorite new word, and subscribe to Unleash Your English for more lessons like this. Let's grow together, one word at a time, one week at a time. Because your English journey has only just begun, and your best days are still ahead.